of the plug. I have a really great interview with Dungeon 4 founder Castro and a part of his marketing team Bugsy as we dive into their creative process, what it takes to stay atop of this fashion game, and as always, what motivates them as an entrepreneur. I love this interview. It's probably one of the most sporadic and insightful interviews I have to date. I hope you guys gain some valuable information from this, and as always, let's get you guys plugged in. Alright, welcome to a special edition of The Plug. I am here with Castro and Bugsy, owners of Dungeon 4 hats and apparel. A little bit of apparel, not a lot, from what I've been told. I am here at Winwood Live Festival, and they're going to tell me a little bit about these amazing hats. What I have on is absolutely amazing. It's not the Trap Gods one I wanted, but this one is equally as dope. So Castro and Bugsy, I don't know who wants to tell the story first. You know what Dungeon 4 it is.
Yeah, so Dungeon 4, you gotta think of it like from the Dungeon 4 or from nothing to something. Talk up louder. So Dungeon 4, you gotta think of it like from the Dungeon 4 or from nothing to something. Basically my life story and creative process in 2 words. We design crowns for the culture. I'm the designer. This is our marketing vice president. And what else? What other questions you have?
Well, how did you get the name there? Like, where did it derive from? Like, how did you think like Dungeon 4?
Man, so a lot of people think it's a play on Dungeon Family, and I actually did not think about that until I tried to think of what to call our fans. And so Dungeon for me was what I called my creative space. So where I would design, I would always call that my dungeon, and my ideas were what I would bring forward for people to experience. And so that's really where the name originally came from. And it started actually as Dungeon 4 Fashion, and then we dropped the fashion and just left it as Dungeon 4.
So tell me about the designs of the hats. Where did they come from? And how did they come up with it? And I want to grab this hat, my favorite hat, and show you guys the different types of hats. Yeah, so tell me about the hats and their design.
The Trap God Savior. That's the one that you feel in the Trap God Savior. So each of them have a different story behind it, but a lot of people can relate to something that says like the Trap God Savior. A lot of people hang in the trap, the regular connotations of the trap, but in order to make it out and to come from the dungeon to go forward, somebody has to save you. So in a lot of instances, we can call that the trap god, but somebody has to intervene for you. So it can be your grandmother praying for you, it can be your homies just getting you out of the game, it can be going through something and then making it out, but somebody had to save you. That's the trap god. It's true though.
So how did you two meet?
We met through a collaboration. So Bugsy is a songwriter, I'm an architect, creative designer, and we actually met through a mutual friend who's a creative, who's a photographer, Sandino. And after that, we talked about doing a collaboration hat, which actually drops next Tuesday. And through that relationship, we decided to join forces within Dungeon 4 Enemy.
So tell me about the features of Dungeon 4 and where is this going? Is it going to be in stores? Is it bigger? I'm sure it's going to be bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about the plans.
So, for one, we're always going to move forward. So you can't anticipate it getting bigger. And then when we have you actually we're in stores, we're actually already in a couple stores. So in Miami, we're in Sneak Attack, which is in Winwood. We're in The Edition Boutique, which is in Kendall and Doral. In New York, we're in Dr. J's. In Atlanta, we're in a store called Traffic that just opened. I'm sure we're somewhere else that I'm not thinking of right now.
We need Raleigh.
Yeah, we definitely need to hit Raleigh, Charlotte, Houston, Chicago. I mean, every area we really want to be in. But the ultimate intent is to rival the biggest headwear manufacturers out there, New Era, and to take over the headwear space without really necessarily having to have another entity giving it its work. So like a sports team or something like that, where people just love the hats because of the hats, and then ultimately create a culture similar to the sneakerhead culture that will rock with hats and really want to follow those releases as they come out, and then ultimately align with influencers in the same way that sneaker brands do.
So Bugsy, this is for you. I think this is a good question. Why should we buy these hats? What is so special about these hats from New Era, from Mitchell Ness? Like why Dungeon 4?
One thing that's definitely different between New Era and anybody else that's creating hats, they're creating hats, we're creating crowns. We're doing something that we're trying to bring creativity and culture also into the hat. So each store, each hat has
struggles and the joy bring you out?
So the creative space, if anybody is a creative, it is one that's ever changing, right? And so that is in itself can be dope or it can be challenging. Fashion is always changing. The silhouettes that people want to wear, that's always changing. So in an entrepreneurial space, as a creative, you have to be flexible and agile. And we think we have that, right? We think we have connectivity to the culture. We have direct connectivity to music. I mean, Bugsy has a track with Chris Brown's artist right now called By the Way, Live by the Way. And so things like that kind of keep us connected to the pulse of what's happening. And I think that's going to maintain our separation from the run-of-the-mill cookie cutter headwear manufacturers. Not that we have any hate towards what they do, we're just a little bit different.
So any advice to creators that you two have, if they want to pursue their dream, what would you say to them?
My number one thing that I tell everybody, I said even when we do other interviews, is just get used to not having any sleep. Get used to not sleeping, but in a different spaces. Whereas when you're awake, you're going after your goals. You're actually planning what you're going to do. You're strategizing your next step, and then you're effectively making those next steps happen. If you're doing that, you're not going to be able to get a lot of sleep, but while you're awake, you'll be living your dream. So that's what you need to do. I would tell them, first thing is always keep victory over vanity. Like a lot of people like to fake it till they make it, or really try to portray a certain image. Be authentic, be you, and always focus on that end goal. And then the second thing I would tell people is, yes, you have to plan, but get off your damn ass and do something. Like, if you have an idea, go do something. Put it out there. See if people like it. And then that alone will start to put you in the right trajectory for success, in my opinion. So we good. Hey, thank you.
Wait, hold on. How can we find you guys?
Oh, you can find us Dungeon Ford everything. So www.dungeonford.com, @DungeonFord on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever else is out there, Facebook. Yeah, so you can check us out there, and you send us an email or you shoot us a DM, we always respond.